hello. I am so excited to be with you today. I have missed you all on live. I have missed you all. I felt like I've been away for a while. And I have been. I have been just doing some things behind the scenes and getting myself ready for all the things that God has for me. So welcome. If you're joining me for the first time, my name is Dr. Joan T. Randall. I'm the founder of Victorious You Press. I am the creator of Books to Business and Beyond, hence this show, Books, Business, and Brunch. My co-host is not here with me today. She's recuperating from being under the weather. So you've got me today, and there's a lot I want to talk about in the short time I have with you. So welcome, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are streaming from. I am so excited that you are with me today. Listen, we're going to be talking about all things books, business, and brunch. You're going to be able to find us here every Monday at 12:30 p.m. Every Monday at 12:30 p.m. We're going to be talking about the state of the publishing industry. We're going to be talking about books. We're going to be talking about some of the things that are happening to the book industry and in the book industry, right? We're going to be talking about how you feel right now, about even writing. We're going to talk about AI and what that does to the book business. We're going to be talking about all things business. How do you flip your book and turn your book into a business? And so a lot to come on this show. So welcome. And if you are here, just put your name in the chat so I can say hello to you and just make sure that I'm giving you a greeting. All right. So today I want to start off with, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? So whether you're watching this now or watching it on the replay, I want you to drop your comments in the chat. How are you feeling? That's a really genuine question, because I know I have had my ups and downs, right? Over this last 4-5 months, my ups and downs about the state of the world, the state of the economy, the state of people, the state of our lives, what is happening. So drop a link in the chat and tell me, how are you feeling? If you're feeling a little heavy, it's understandable. If you're feeling a little uncertain, it is understandable. If you're feeling like you don't know what the future holds, it is understandable. If you're feeling sad because you may have lost a loved one recently, or you hear about someone whose life is changing because of whatever, it's understandable. If all the things that you know that were true for your life is suddenly changing, it's understandable. So I just want you to know that I'm here for you, and that I'm here with you, and that whatever you are going through right now, know this: it is only a matter of time. You are just in a season, and season changes. Things don't always remain the same. Things change, situation changes, circumstances changes. And if you just hold on a little while longer, things will get better. If you just hold on a little while longer, things will change. If you just hold on a little while longer, in due season, the wind will shift, right? The breeze will shift, the storm will shift, all the things will shift, because creation shows you that everything we do is for a season, right? It's never always going to be good. It's never always going to be bad. It's going to always be somewhere in between. But just keep hope and keep faith, and know that, first of all, you're not the only one that's going through what you're going through. And number two, things will get better. All right. So drop it in the chat. Let me know how you're feeling, right? Let me know how you're feeling, because we're all feeling something. We're all feeling the change, the shift. So grab your tea, grab your coffee, grab your lunch, and just come. Let's just talk, right? Here is what I want to share with you. Don't be discouraged about what is happening. Right now is the perfect time for you to plan your next. And you're going to be saying, all right, Joan, what does that mean? I am telling you that when the tides are low, that when things seem to be at a lull, when you feel like you're in a wilderness circumstance, it's the best time to plan. What is the next? It's the best time to start thinking about your strategy. It is the best time to sit back with your spouse, with your family, with your children, with your friends, with your partner, with your whomever is in your circle, and start thinking about what is next for me. Let me tell you what big companies do, right? And the top 1% and 2% in the world, the billionaires. Whenever things are tough, the stock market is crashing, things are at their lowest, there's so many uncertainty. Guess what they do? They stockpile things. They grab a hold of things. They buy land. They buy homes. Why? Because they know that people might be going through foreclosures. So they take this opportunity to get things because the environment, the landscape is so uncertain. All right. So you may not have billions of dollars to buy land now. You may not have billions of dollars to home those homes that are in foreclosure, but I still want you to own something. I want you to plan on ownership. I want you to plan on what it is I need to do to own something. You may only own a story. That might be the thing that you have. That might be the thing that you have to hold on to. All right. Maybe you're saying, I've always wanted to write a book, but I don't know what benefit the book will be. I'm telling you to write it now. It's the perfect time. Don't stay stuck in fear. Don't stay stuck in uncertainty. Don't stay stuck in a place where you feel like you're not moving. Let me tell you, in the depth of your sorrow, it's the best you can write. Trust me, that's a place where the words that you write are most powerful. That's the place where things that you write, even if you're saying, I'm not going to publish this, even if it is for you an outlet, it is the perfect time to put pen to paper. It is the perfect time to open your phone and speak into it. Now is the perfect time to plan to build for your next. It is not a time to sleep. It is not a time for you to be depressed. It is not a time for you to be anxious. It is not a time for you to listen to what the whole world is talking about, what might be happening. It's not the time for you to watch the news and be just, devastated by what is going on. Plan. Where do you see your life after this is over? What do you want to have when things come back around? What do you need to plan and put in place? So 2 years, 3 years from now, you are solidified. Now is preparation time. Now is not the time to retreat. Now is not the time to be sorry for yourself. Now is not the time to be saddened. Now is preparation. It's preparation time, right? You are preparing for something to change, for something to turn around. So don't let this time allow you to miss what God is trying to show his kingdom citizen. Don't let that go. Don't let that go away. All right. So let me talk to you a little bit about what's going on in the publishing industry. First of all, can I just give a shout out for my ladies that joined the February self-publishing cohort? Congratulations to those 12 women that joined our self-publishing cohort that all published their books. I am super excited. And for those that already launched, all of them hit the bestsellers list and the hot new release list. So congratulations. If you notice, I said self-publishing. All right. I'm a publisher and I understand that people want to hold on to their thing, right? So there's a lot of people that's turning towards self-publishing. But I don't want you to go into self-publishing not knowing the industry standard of publishing. I want you to be able to self-publish a book that is quality. And so I decided I was going to take all my knowledge for the last 9 years operating in this publishing, writing, book space and give it to you over an 8-week period. That is what we're doing, right? And so our first cohort was amazing. We learned some things. We did some trial things. We understand some things better for the next cohort. So the next cohort starts in June. However, because I want you to see what we're going to be taking you through, we're going to do a free 3-day challenge. We want to give you a glimpse of what the self-publishing cohort is all about. So there's a link below this live, right? Go ahead, click on the link and register for the next self-publishing cohort, which starts on June the 2nd, 3 days, June the 2nd, June the 3rd, June the 4th. It's really about an hour out of your time from 5:30 to 6:30. That's the time for the cohort. Listen, I just talked to you about preparing and planning while the tide is uncertain. It's the perfect time to get that how-to guide, that business book, and that journal out. Bear in mind, the self-publishing cohort is not so much for about memoirs, like your story, but you can still join to learn what the standards are for self-publishing. So I want to share some things with you for all of you out there that are authors, aspiring authors, authors that are, that have been around for a long time, and what is happening to the book industry. A lot of things are changing. A lot of things are changing. Let me tell you some of the changes that are going on. Number one, here is a change that is happening right now. So Amazon is now going through books in a lot more detail than they ever did before. So if you place your book in a category and they feel like the content of the book does not align with the category, they will take your book out of that category. They will. And they'll send you an email saying that you put your book in a category where none of the content or too little of the content spoke about this. And so we're removing your book from that category, right? The second thing about this publishing industry is be careful about AI. There is a rise in AI generated content. And while AI is amazing, I love it. I use it every day, right? You still have to be careful about the content, right? You can't just say to AI, write me a book about how to become an accountant. AI will generate some stuff, but it may not be 100% accurate. So you have to be able to ensure that what you're getting from ChatGPT or AI, you can back it up that it's yours. You really can, because publishing sites now, whether it's Ingram Spark or Amazon, when you go to upload your book, they're going to ask you, is the content of this book AI generated? And depending on what you say, there may be a halt on publishing your book. Okay? You have to be able to make sure that there is accuracy. So a lot of people are out here doing AI generated book on health and a lot of stuff like health, right? Because, the health care industry is huge. And so there are people coming up with their own health books, but they're using AI generated content, right? which is they're not their own content. And so you got to be careful about that because Amazon is cracking down, baby, cracking down. Another thing that I want to share with you about the book industry is that it's undergoing a lot of transformations. And it's being influenced by technology, it's being influenced by reader preferences, and it's being influenced by inclusivity. That's a whole nother day that we're going to talk about inclusivity in the publishing industry. I cannot talk about that today because it's so vast, right? But you as a aspiring author or an author that's getting ready to write anthologies and books and invite people into your world with all of your knowledge, which you should be you should be writing books based on your learned skills, your lived skills. People need those books, right? You have to understand that there are shifts that are happening and you need somebody like me to guide you if you are not a publisher, if you have never had a publishing degree, if you have never been a part of IBPA, right? You need someone that can guide you along. And that's where I come in. Honestly, that's where I come in. All right. Trends are changing, right? Let me tell you what trends are really making the market exciting. Romance, fantasy, right? And if you put it together, it's called romantasy. That's a trend now. Romantasy is a trend, right? And that's captivating audience because a lot of times people who read fiction books, they want to escape. They want to escape the reality of what's going on, right? And fiction makes good reading materials, and fiction makes a lot of good movies too, right? So when you talk about traditional publishing, a lot of literary agents and traditional publishing companies are looking for submissions in these areas. Now, when it comes on to non-fiction books, self-help books, leadership books are still at the top of the food chain. All right. And that's why I say, if you can write a nonfiction book about your knowledge, about your skills, about your expertise, about your authority, it's going to win. Because in the nonfiction world, self-help book is like, leadership books are at the top of the chain. Again, I spoke earlier about the surge in self-publishing trend. Self-publishing trend is really taking over for two reasons. Number one, to get into, most authors will say, oh, I want to get my book on the New York Times best-selling list. Well, to get on the New York Times best-selling list, it's just the list, right? That list is really dominated by the traditional publishing companies, right? Simon and Schuster, Macmillan, those big companies, they call them the big five, right? And so to get your book into a traditional publishing company, there's a few things that you have to understand. Number one, you have to have a literary agent pitch your book to these companies, right? You can't just send your manuscript to any traditional publishing company and expect them to say, yes, I'm going to pay you to publish this book. No, baby, it's not going to happen. First of all, you have to have a really well-written manuscript, or at least 90% completed. You get a literary agent. They pitch your book, depending on the quality of the book. They pitch your book to one of these big fives, and they wait for a response. And if the big five come back and say yes, then that's good for you. But there's some things that the yes is going to come with. Number one, what is your audience? Who are your followers? How many people do you have? You can't have 1,000 people and expect that a traditional publishing company is going to say yes to your book. No, because they want to make sure if they do pay you to publish your book, that you have the audience that will turn around and buy the book. The other thing about that thing about paying you is true. A traditional publishing company will pay you to publish your book. But at the end of the day, guess who owned the rights to the book? They do, right? Unless you have an airtight contract that says my royalty needs to be X amount of percentage, and I plan to write 2 additional books. Traditional publishers don't take 1 book and done. It's 2 or 3 books that you have to write. They will give you an advance to write the book, but baby, it is not easy, okay? It ain't easy. So the average me and you may not be able to get into a traditional publishing world unless you're a fiction author that is so incredibly talented that they have to say yes to the book, because this book can be a movie, or your story is so powerful that they will say, I need to publish this book because this book can in turn become a movie. So when you think about a traditional publishing company, they're looking out for their bottom line. Do you think they're just paying you because they want to pay you without the book being so powerful that people will buy it so they get their money back? No, right? So that's one reason why the self-publishing world is surging. People are uncertain about traditional publishing company. And then you have a person like me that's a publishing service company, you have independent company, and you have hybrid publishing company, right? And so sometimes in a hybrid publishing, you have to pay some upfront costs, and the hybrid publisher may pay a part of the costs. In that scenario, however, the hybrid publisher is going to take royalties from you for at least 3 years. So the royalties will not be yours all the time. And then afterwards, after 3 years, when they feel like they get back what they advanced to you, then they'll turn over all the royalties to you. So everybody is in business to make money, right? And then of course the hybrid publishing company and the independent publisher is the same thing. And then you have people like me that we're publishing partnership services. We take the money from you upfront to publish your book, but we use the same exact system as the traditional publishing company or the hybrid publisher or the independent publisher. And then when we're done, we turn everything over to you. It is you. We don't take a dime of your royalty and your copyright. All those things belong to you. But here's the reason why bookstores do not like to take self-published books, because there's no track record. They feel as if you're brand new to this publishing world. Like, how many books have you published as a self-published author? Where can I find your imprint, right? Who is your follower? Who are your follower? If I take a chance in my bookstore and buy your book as a self-published author, does it measure up to the industry standard of book publishing? When I open your self-published book, how does the internal matter of your book? What does it look like, right? Can I feel good to put this on my shelf in my bookstore so that people will buy it? I don't know. So most often they flip the back of your book and they realize there is no imprint on your book. There is no publishing company associated with your book. They open the copyright page. They don't see anything about the Library of Congress, right? So in their mind, they don't think that your book deserves to be on their bookshelf. But that's not true. That's not true. The most important thing, however, as a self-published author, is to make sure you know exactly what the publishing world is looking for, even with a self-published book. Is the internal matter of your book, does it look good? Does it meet the standards of formatting? Does your cover, the font on your cover looks right? Does it meet the right? And the beautiful thing about self-publishing is that you own everything, right? Do you have to pay? Absolutely. If you think that you can self-publish a book without a dime and expect people to pay for the book, I'm sorry, baby, you're wrong, right? If you want people to buy your book and you decide to self-publish, you've got to do it right. You've got to do it right. You have got to do it the right way. First of all, you're going to have to get your book completely edited the right way. And here's the thing, just a little note, right? If you write a book and you edit it yourself, That's not editing. That's you self-editing your book to send to an editor, right? You have to get a developmental editor if you're writing in a genre of fiction or nonfiction, or it's your memoir. You want a developmental editor to develop your book so it's powerful. And even after developmental editor is done with your book, you need a proofreader. You need that last person to come behind you, dot the I's and cross the T's to make sure that your book is ready and good to go. So, all of that is a part of the self publishing world. But what I love about this world that people are now, there's a surge in self publishing, is that it empowers diverse voices and allow for more personalized marketing strategies. It empowers diverse voices because years ago, when you think about publishing, when you even think about a publisher, it was hard to see a person like me as a publisher with my ethnicity, with my accent, with all the stuff. We represent this much in the publishing world. But I love the fact now that there is more of us in this publishing space, right? With the expertise to do it the way we are doing it. So, self publishing, there's a surge in there. And there's a shift in book formats as well. And this is where I'm going to end. And next week I will continue with the shifts in the publishing industry. We talked about the rise of AI content. We talk about what Amazon is doing now. We talk about evolving trends, right? In the fiction world and the nonfiction world. We talk about the self-publishing surge. And I want to talk about another aspect, shift in book formats. And this is where I love, what Amazon did recently, because when you upload your ebook onto Amazon, right? You have an opportunity to be a part of their beta program. And in their beta program, what Amazon is doing right now is turning your ebooks into audiobooks with AI, which is amazing, right? Which is amazing. Now, the only thing about this is you don't get a chance to read your book with your own voice. So you choose from a number of AI voices that they have, right? There is no charge to this, which means they're using their ISBN number on your audiobook. So what you're getting is pennies on the dollars in terms of royalty, because they own that book because you're using their ISBN number, right? But they give you an opportunity to convert your ebook into an audiobook. And you can send the link out and let people know that your audiobook is available. So that's a great thing that they are doing, right? But these are the changes that are happening in the book world, and it's not bad. I want you to understand it's not bad. What this just proves to all of us is that we all should own something that we can leave as a legacy. And I'll tell you this, I don't care how much of a speaker you are, and I don't care how powerful you are as a speaker. People will hear you. You can change people's lives as a speaker. You can be transformative as you speak. You can be engaging as you speak. You can help people move forward with their life as you speak. But without a book to leave as a backup to the speaking, like, there's nothing to show that, all right, let me just hold on to his words, because I can hear you and not remember. But when I have your book, I'll always remember. I'll always remember. So if you have a gift, a skill, a talent, treasures, abilities, lived experiences, learned experiences, and you're great at something, and you're sitting there thinking, I don't have a book, I don't think I'm an author. Listen, we got all of that. We can help you figure out how to put it together and how to write it. And even better, we can help you to write it in 30 days. 30 days. With our self-publishing cohorts, we can help you write that book in 30 days. And over the next 30 days, we will help you publish it. We will show you how to get your ISBN. We'll show you how to build an author imprint. We'll show you all the things. All right. So if you're interested in writing, if you're interested in getting your skill set out there, if you are a pastor, an elder, a minister, a prayer warrior, and you want to write a prayer book so people can pray like you, do it. If you're a pastor and you have a series of sermons and you thought that they were powerful, and in this season, in this time, people are yearning for encouraging words of God, join the self-publishing cohort. If you have an amazing skill at cooking and you know that you want people to learn how to prepare healthier meal options for themselves, put it in a book, self-publish it if you want to. All right. So listen, that's what I have for you today. There's a lot coming up. I have a author publisher meet up coming up right here in the Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina on June the 7th. More information coming on that. I have a brand new book that is coming out called Self-Publish Your Expertise, which I'm so excited about. Teach you how to self-publish your book from top to bottom, how to create your pillars and the subject matter for your book. So I'm just excited, right? And what I do believe is that God has given me this message, this gift, this anointing to help others build legacies and build businesses. Because, baby, you can build a business from a book, and age doesn't even factor into that. All right. So listen, thank you for those of you who stopped by and popped in and joined me. Thank you. I'm so excited to be back with books, business, and brunch. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and go below this replay. If you're watching on the replay or if you're watching live, click on the link and sign up for my 3-day free challenge that will lead into the self-publishing cohort. Thank you so much. God bless you. I love you. And we will see you next time, next week. Same time, same place. God bless you. Bye, guys.